and welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are doing well and having an amazing day. So kind of excited about today's video, you guys. Today, and you guys can see from the title, I'm going to be organizing my pantry. You guys might recall me telling you in an earlier video where I told you that in the month of January, I typically like to use that month to do a lot of organizing in my home, just kind of going through things, making everything nice and clean and neat, and just kind of discarding those things that I'm not using anymore. And so that's what we're going to be doing. We're actually going to be just kind of organizing the inside of my pantry for starters. Okay, so first, what I want to do is I just want to kind of show you guys what that space looks like at the moment, just to kind of give you guys an idea of the work I have ahead, okay? Hopefully this is something that will inspire or motivate one of you all to actually want to do the same thing in your pantry area. So right now, let's go ahead and take a look at my space. And let me show you what I mean. So this is the state of my pantry at the moment. Let me give you guys a good close-up there. So as you guys can see, this thing is packed to the rim, basically. And we need to get some organization, y'all. And like I was telling you guys in one of my earlier videos, January is the month for getting things organized. And there's some projects that I want to just try to get done before this month is out. Inside my home, especially since there's nothing I can really do outside since there's no plants in the stores. But let me know in the comments if your pantry looks similar to mine. So yeah, you can kind of see some stuff is in here that y'all probably just don't even use. I could definitely store it better, organize it better. Yeah, it's a whole mess. But yeah, definitely have my work cut out for me. Yeah, whew, my goodness, yeah. So that's what we're going to be doing. And to start off, I'm actually going to just kind of take everything out. Take everything out of the pantry, put it on the table, discard the things that I don't need, that I don't use, and just kind of restock everything, make everything nice and clean. I'm also going to be covering these wire shelves. And I'll show you guys in a minute the product that I'm going to be using to cover these shelves. Now, you could make your shelves. I've done that in the past for other projects. I just made the shelves, but the boards are a lot more expensive nowadays. So it actually is more cost effective to cover your shelves instead of making the shelves to put on top of the wire shelving. And I'll be sharing the link in the video of, the product that I'm going to be using. And then that way you can see where I got it, all of that good stuff. So to me, it's more cost effective and it saves a heck of a lot more time for me to just go ahead and cover the shelves. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started with removing all of this crap from the pantry so we can kind of see our way clear a little bit. So if you are new to this channel and tuning in for the first time, welcome. My name is Carolina. And to all of my existing subscribers, guys, you know I love you all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's such a great pleasure having all of you here. So guys, those of you who are pretty new, I have an older home. My home was built in the early 90s. And so my pantry is literally the size of a closet space, a small closet space. But anyway, just because your house is older, your rooms are smaller, there's no reason why you can't make it over and turn it into something beautiful. All right, y'all. So here's a quick look at the pantry after I've cleared everything out. Got all of the items out of here. Whew, it was a lot. It was so much, you guys. So here's the other thing I wanted to show you all. Look at the marks that are on the wall in the cabinet, in the pantry, I should say. So look at that. There's a lot of marks everywhere. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and paint the inside of my pantry. And this is just my way of making the space look a lot more presentable. I'm going to clean in here. I'm going to dust. I'm going to wipe down some things. And yeah, just paint over, just paint the space and just have it looking nice and fresh. because I mean, it just doesn't make sense to, you know, put new items in the pantry without it being thoroughly cleaned. So that's one of the things we definitely want to do. And you can kind of see here, you got some areas where there's stains from sauces and stuff like that. So we definitely want to clean the space first before adding those new items to beautify the inside of the pantry and to organize it. So I'm going to show you all the crap that came out. First, we're going to start with the dining room table. Look at that. Y'all, come on. All this mess came out of the pantry. Lord have mercy. So I'm going to actually sort through all of this stuff. And this is not it. I'm not done. Let me show you the other portion. We also have all of this crap. So yeah, all of this. So we got literally 2 tables filled with items that came out of the pantry. What is going on? So yeah, I'm going to take my time, sort through all of this stuff. Anything that's expired, I'm going to discard it. If it's something I haven't used in a while, you know, if it's something that, you know, it hasn't expired or anything, I'll, you know, put it in a box, drop it off to Harvest Hope or something. Y'all, a mess, a whole mess. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. All right, y'all, so now that we've gone through the process of just kind of taking everything out of the pantry, I'm going to go ahead and take my time and sort through everything. I'm going to look for those items that have expired. I'm going to discard them. And the items that have not expired, that I'm just really not even using, I'm going to go ahead and box those up and just drop them off to Harvest Hope. So yeah, so that's what we want to do. We want to go ahead and clear both tables off, sort through everything, and then afterwards I'll go through and just kind of show you guys the items and the products I'm going to be using to kind of make this pantry area look like a pantry, and to, you know, just kind of get everything nice and organized. So let's go ahead and start with clearing everything out and sorting through everything. All right, y'all, so I have a box here on the table. You can see that here. I'm going to be using this box to put the items that I'm going to be dropping off to Harvest Hope. I'm going to place that in that particular box. And I have a trash bag here that I'm going to use to discard the items that I don't plan to keep or that have expired, or, you know, whatever. Some items, for example, like my pet wipes, do not belong in the pantry. So we're just gonna find new homes for some of these other items that don't belong. So yeah, so we have quite a bit of things that we need to organize. And I think for the, you know, for the remaining month of January, I'm going to be, you know, just kind of really focusing on videos regarding different ways to organize different areas in the home. So this is just one of the main spaces here, which is the pantry. So let's go ahead and get started. So one example of something that is about to expire, I have this peanut butter, jar of peanut butter. Got this a while back from Sam's. And not sure if you guys can see this, but the expiration date is actually January 27th, 2026. So it hasn't expired yet, but it's about to. So I think this will be ideal, and it's never been opened. Yeah, it's never been opened. I'm going to put this in the box to go to Harvest Hope. Now, please don't get the wrong impression about the items that I'm giving to Harvest Hope. I'm not giving them items that have expired, but I am giving them items that have been unused and unopened that I simply just don't want anymore. All the items that have been expired, I am placing them in a trash bag to be discarded. All right, y'all, and here's another good example. So this is a jar of apricot preserves. I think I got this from Walmart or something a while back. But look at the expiration date, y'all. Hopefully you guys can see that. So this actually expired May 27th, 2024. So something like this, we're going to go ahead and discard. So I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video so I can kind of comb through this stuff quickly. But yeah, let's go ahead and do this. So y'all, I'll be honest, normally I don't throw away something like the peanut butter right after the expiration date because you can still use it. But the issue is it will take me probably a whole year to finish that 1 jar of peanut butter, which is why I'm going to go ahead and give it to Harvest Hope. Y'all, look at this. This Prego, I'm not sure if you guys can see on the top, this expired, oh my God, in 2022. Hopefully you guys can see that. So that's when this actually expired. Isn't that something, you guys? That's crazy. Y'all, we have to literally go through these cabinets. This is something I need to start doing probably, I don't know, maybe every 6 months to a year. Because you'll be amazed at what's expired. So it's been several years since that expired. All right, so let's get started with prepping the pantry to be painted. To clean the inside walls of my pantry, I'm going to be using my little Swifter. So yeah, this is like my little Swifter mop or whatever you want to call it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on top of it, I'm going to use one of these little pads here. Okay, I got these pads from Temu. I can't remember how many came in a pack, but I'll be sure and link it in the description. So this literally fits on top of this little mop, and I like to use this to dust, and you can wet it. And what I really love about it is that it's reusable. So I'm just gonna put one of these on here. And first what I like to do is I like to just use it dry. I don't wanna put anything on it. I wanna first just kind of do like a dry cleaning, you know. I don't want to wet it and then try to clean it because the dust will get wet and it'll get smudgy, and we don't want that. So first I'm going to go over it with the dry mop, and then afterwards I'll probably put a little solution on it just to kind of give it a nice little deep clean, and just kind of let that dry before we start painting. All right, so here's a quick look at the tools I'm gonna be using to paint the inside of my pantry. So I have this little paint kit that I got from the Dollar Tree. I think this was like $1.50, if I'm not mistaken, either $1.50 or $1.25. But anyway, this is what I'm gonna be using. In addition to that, I ran out to Lowe's to get a little can of the satin interior paint. This is in the color Alabaster, I think is what it's called. So yeah, so I'm gonna be using this to paint the walls in the pantry. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with that right now because we have to get this time to dry before we move on to adding the items that I have for this pantry. And we'll talk a little bit about those items once I've completely painted the inside of the pantry.
Baby, you give me giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby, and twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just twist your body and mine.
All right, y'all, so here's my progress so far. So I've painted all the walls in the inside of the pantry. Everything looks nice and fresh. And I'm not sure if you guys could tell, but I actually had a little area here that still needed some peel and stick tile. And so I added that as well. Love how that looks. So yeah. So we're making really good progress. All right, y'all, so the time is almost 9:30 p.m. and I was gonna just call it a night and then start back tomorrow and just kind of show you guys the items, but I figured, you know what? Let's go ahead and do this, and so that way tomorrow I can show you guys the final reveal. So let me go ahead and show you guys the items that I'm going to be using to just kind of organize inside my pantry and just to, you know, kind of make it look nicer, more beautiful, all of that good stuff. And I will have these items linked in the description. And I'll also put them in my storefront as well, but I'm definitely going to have them linked in the description. So let's go ahead and take a look at everything that I have so far. All right, so first off, I have these shelf covers, these wire shelf covers. Let me show you what they look like. So this is what they look like. They have the little lip already attached to it, and this is the opposite side of it. And so I'm literally gonna just place these right over the wire shelves. Now you could make these, but I find that it's a lot cheaper to just purchase them already made because the price of wood has gone up tremendously. So I just felt like it just made more sense to just purchase them, and I'll have them linked in the description. The other thing that I wanted to use, I bought some little Lazy Susans. These actually came 4 in a pack. I have the other one in the kitchen area, but yeah, they kind of spin, and I thought these will be really handy in the pantry, just to kind of, you know, give the area a little bit more space, just as a way to conserve space or whatever inside that the pantry. So I got 4 of these. I also went out and got some cute little cabinet lights. So these are sensor cabinet lights. Not sure how these are going to look, but I felt like the pantry area could use a little light whenever I'm in there. And these are actually motion censored, which is perfect. And you can kind of see that here, motion censored. So can't wait to try these out. So I got a pack of these. These came 2 in a pack. I felt like 2, was more than enough. And I also have these baskets here. I've had these baskets for years, and I just wasn't using them. I just had them stacked in the closet. And I figured, you know what? I'm going to use these. These might come in pretty handy. So I have these baskets as well. And so one other item that I do have, I'll show you guys that as I'm actually putting it inside the pantry. So another item that I purchased, I got this little container here for my dog food. You might remember previously it was just in the bag, pushed up against the pantry. So I got this here. I thought this was cute. You can see it has the little doggy paw print and the bone on it. And I actually got this from Home Goods, and This was $15.99. So yeah, so this is the item here. This is the container for my dog food. It comes with a little scooper here. So this is perfect. So we have that. Because like I said before, previously I just had the dog food in the bag, and I think this is going to be so much nicer and neater. So here's a look at that other item I was telling you all about. This is a hanging door shelf rack. This has about 6 little shelves. And y'all, I think I can find so many great uses for this shelf rack. This is going to be perfect in helping me organize this small pantry space. All right, you guys can see here that I've already installed one of the little shelf wire shelf covers. The very top one, I had to make a few adjustments to it. I didn't record it, but I had to actually trim a little bit off the end of it because I didn't realize it at the time. And let me see if I can't show you guys here. The shelf at the very top is actually shorter than my other shelves, and I didn't even realize that. And you can kind of see here where that one stops there, and then the next one comes out, you know, it comes out a little bit more. So I didn't even realize that this was shorter. So all I did was I got my jigsaw and just trim off a few inches, so then that way it laid flush with the wire shelf. So that much I did have to do. All right, y'all, so as I'm installing these wire shelf covers, you will notice that I am not removing the wire shelves at all. Like I told you guys earlier, these shelves are actually screwed in at the very back. So all I did was just lift up the shelf above it and then place the wire shelf cover on the one below it. And so that's how I did with this entire process. It got a little bit more difficult once I got to the top because, again, my closet is very, very narrow. So I had to do a little bit maneuvering to get the covers in, but it all worked out perfectly. One little flaw. So right here, this particular rack, you can probably kind of tell it kind of dips in the middle. I tried straightening it, but this is the best I could do. So unfortunately, because of that dip, I guess where I have some really heavy items right in the middle, it's not really hiding that well under here, under the little shelf cover. So I'm not gonna really stress about it too much. Yeah, but just wanted to show you guys that it is what it is. But everything else looks amazing. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love it. It's gorgeous. So I am really, really loving how this looks. Aside from this, I don't know, y'all. Yeah, and I'm too lazy to try to take the whole rack off and straighten it, because that would entail taking the screws out back here, and y'all, I'm just not about to do all that. It ain't that serious. But anyway, I love it. It looks so nice. Look at that. How fantastic. So y'all, this is a great way to just upgrade your pantry just by using these wire shelf covers. It just makes everything look so nice and clean and neat. Oh, I absolutely love it. And me adding that fresh coat of paint to the walls, y'all, didn't that make a huge difference? Look at that. Everything just looks so nice and fresh. Oh, I absolutely love it. Oh, all right. So, yeah, so I'll show you guys the final reveal on tomorrow. Yes, I am loving this rack here. And spoiler alert, let me just go ahead and tell you guys now. So the reason why I haven't attached this, because you'll notice this actually has the screws and everything, the holes. I didn't attach it because In my next video, well, my next Sunday video, I'm going to paint the inside of this door. So I didn't want to attach this rack to the door just yet because I'm going to end up painting the inside and the outside of this pantry door. I'm thinking about doing like a, you know, a pantry door makeover of some sort. So that's why I just left that the way I did. And you know, when I do the, when I paint it, I'll, you know, fix all of these little areas here where I had the broom hanging up here and I tore the little attachment off. So I'll fix all of that, you know, whenever I do the pantry door makeover. So that's why I left that the way I did. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, I'm loving it, you guys. Let me know in the comments what you think so far. But in the meantime, I'll see you guys for the final reveal. Good morning, you guys. So it is the next day. It's pretty early in the morning. Cold outside too, my goodness. But I wanted to kind of show you all my progress on last night with the pantry area. For the most part, I pretty much completed everything I needed to do, put all the items back inside the pantry. And I just want to kind of show you guys how I have everything laid out. I actually discarded a lot of items. So that was another huge thing. I feel like my pantry looks empty now because it doesn't have a whole lot of items in it. But there is one other thing I want to do to it before I completely wrap things up. I want to go ahead and add some lighting to the pantry. Because my pantry is pretty small and narrow in size, it tends to get pretty dark in there. So the lighting is just going to help me be able to see things, know exactly what I'm looking for. So that's what we're about to do right now. So let's go ahead and do that. These are the lights, the light bars that I'm going to be installing in the pantry. I just had it charging overnight, and you can already see that it's fully charged. And these lights are motion lights. I love that they come with these little magnetic stickers. So, you know, you can attach this portion of it to the wall. And then, you know, whenever you need to charge the lights again, you can just easily remove them. So I do have 2 of these, and we're going to go ahead and get started with adding these lights. So before the final reveal, I just want to take you guys back a little bit and remind you what this pantry space used to look like before we made it over. Remember, it was completely congested. All the shelves were cluttered. Guys, it was a whole hot mess. So now let's take a look at the final reveal. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's content, don't forget to give this video a huge thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. And I look forward to seeing you guys really soon in my next video. Until then, bye now.